Part 1. Frogs. A dark figure's short, hair-like shadows float as she walks, her dome down as she tightens the shawl of false admittance around her core, trying to fool herself into thinking she isn't going there. Anything to keep her nerves at bay. The shadow knows she needs to see the other elementals. She needs to see their light, the lights that could overwhelm her and send her into oblivion. The lights that make her shadows darker, longer, closer to existence. As she approaches the dancing lights, she wishes the small wisps of light she could make were enough, wishes the dark, wispy shadows of the admittance surrounding her core were elegant streaks of light, wishes they were anything but shadows, wishes she couldn't disappear so easily. The hair-like shadows reach halfway down her core, the length of her shawl, the shawl that she extends into a hooded cloak. The indigo shadows reach past her charcoal-colored wisps of admittance. If only the dark figure could extend her own shadows so easily. But her own light can't fuel her. She's here, the light show. Her shadows inch closer to the bottom of her core as she enters Luminous. The harsh lights force her to turn away. She chose this illuminated place because it's big, easy to get lost in, easy to melt into the crowd of, but also because of its shape. The social edge of Luminous forms a crescent shape, unlike the rest of the large venues where the social edge completely encircles the stage. The shadow never understood the design. It's easier to watch a show than it is to mingle with other elementals. She doesn't want to be trapped when it's time to leave. The shadow hovers in a spot where she can view the stage, but leave in an instant. It's the middle of a show. She had planned to arrive at the start of it. She takes in the orbs of light that float off the show. An amber-colored light elemental spins, her admittance styled like fire. A few elementals greet her. She does her best to remember every elemental she's met more than twice. Tries her best to recognize everyone before she's overwhelmed, and all she can process are the orbs of light she needs. Tries to find solace in the familiar pattern of elementals. The warm fire obsessed with the shows, the white light who seems to greet everyone, the clear water who always accompanies an elemental who draws attention. She stays at the edge until she feels her cloak start to disintegrate and shrink back into a shawl. With that she leaves. Perhaps next time I should wear glasses. In the coming days, the shadow elemental messes with her artifacts and books, basking in the darkness, the cool silence, a false peace until she starts to fade. They scare her every time. Those moments when she remembers she could disappear. This time, she's huddled in the shadows, reading by the faint orbs of light she emits. She has fallen into a peaceful rhythm of flipping through the pages of Castles Around the World, a book about human buildings. Architecture, they called it. It's an interesting idea, a world where she couldn't make almost everything using her own admittance. There's something truly frightening, slightly intriguing, and the smallest bit appealing about that idea all at once. One of her tendrils is swallowed by the shadows that surround her. It returns in a moment, and it will the next time as well, but eventually, she knows it won't. The sunglasses dim the lights, the way she views them at least. They should allow the shadow to stay a few moments longer. A few moments that terrify her. Not long ago, she read about a creature that lived back with the humans. A frog. An odd creature she had become fond of. So much so, she attempted to replicate one with her shadows. The shadow had come close. She just couldn't make it move right. She wants to make it hop. It's not that sweet, simple memory that resurfaces in the world of lights, though. Instead, it's the story of the frog slowly boiling itself to death that echoes through her core. For a moment, she wonders if it would be peaceful, to disappear without realizing you're vanishing. She banishes those thoughts, and ends up leaving before the indigo shadows even start to fade. The dark figure's routine continues as it does every day. She's content with her life, she would say if anyone asked her. complacent, a cruel voice whispers in the back of her mind. Sometimes, those whispers become echoes and resound through her core for days at a time. The shadow pulls out her favorite book, Hoppy Frogs and Squiggly Salamanders, trying to lose herself in another world. She stares at the photo of a frog mid-leap, and it feels impossible. The amount of focus it would take to manipulate the shadows, to master every little nuance, to make every little piece move when it should. It's an amount she might not possess. Nothing lasts forever. The human sentiment she'd read so many times rings hollow as always, just giving more space for the whispers to resound. Elementals are eternal, unless they disappear, and only fools put themselves in a position where they could after the rise of the illuminated world. She wonders if they really were fools. She preps another visit to a light show, as if one of her wisps had been swallowed by the shadows. Eternity becomes a pattern. Even if the shadow disappeared, she knows it wouldn't change the pattern, only end it. The dark figure tightens her grip on her indigo shadows as they shift between a shawl and a coat. She keeps her dome down and speeds up, frustration manifesting as impatience. She bumps into an elemental and quickly scurries off. It's only later that the shadow realizes she dropped her shawl. There's a flare at the entrance to her home. She's terrified. It's just a delivery. For what? She doesn't know, but the light couldn't have found her. She puts down Hoppy Frogs and Squiggly Salamanders and floats to the entrance, repeating that. It's just a delivery. She floats past the shadows she put up to conceal her home and finds a light elemental with a shawl made of indigo shadows. "Sorry," the light says, and holds out the shawl. "I bumped into you the other day, and you dropped this." Her voice is just as bright as she is. A soft brightness, just above a glow. The small orbs of light hovering around the elemental both refresh the shadow and feel like they tear her apart at the same time. "Sorry," the charcoal figure manages to respond. Thank you, It takes a moment for the shadow to remember to take the shawl. "Glad I found you," the light says. "Thought I lost you. You wear it all the time, so it must be important." The light noticed her? The shadow doesn't know what to think of all the emotions whirling around in her core. "Thank you," she repeats, not sure what to say. The shadow puts on the shawl and snuggles into it. This was the first time in a while she had spent days without it. She had tried to convince herself that it was fine she lost it. She went out and got a new one to replace it. A dark blue one. She hated it. "Well, I'll see you around," the light says, about to leave. In that moment, all the shadow can feel is the darkness closing in on her. "Wait, let me thank you properly. This shawl is really important to me. I'm really grateful you returned it. I thought I'd lost it. Let me repay you with a fizz sometime." The light shines a bit brighter. For a moment, the shadow wonders if she offended her, wonders if she'll disappear. "It was really no problem, but I'm not one to say no to a fizz. Here's my flare. I'm free tonight. Does that work for you?"